Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of June, 2023, middle of the afternoon, reasonably cool enough to work here in the garage with that AC cranking away over there. And today, more countersinking. I know that in the previous video I mentioned that I realized that I actually do have to countersink all of the holes, because if I were to mount the leading edges, I wouldn't be able to countersink the lower holes for the bottom main skins. So I do have to do these, but since I'm already kind of in the countersinking mode, everything is set up and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead today and just continue on with the countersinks on the top side of the left main spar. And then when that's done, then I'll go ahead, I'll do all the fitting of the bottom skins, and then we can countersink the rest of it and get on with our collective lives. But such as it is, this is building an airplane, and we're going to do that. So time lapse coming up. Thanks for being here. Oh, and by the way, I really do appreciate all the support that I've received from this channel. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy the interaction that I have with many of you in the comments section. And I've enjoyed watching the growth of the channel. I'd like to see more of it. So if you like what's going on here, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe if you're so inclined. And if you want to know when these videos pop up, just hit the notification bell. Anyways, back to the plane building business.
August 23rd, 2023. This is the 32nd anniversary of the day that I became a Marine. For those of you who are unfamiliar, when you become a Marine, it's not the day you go to boot camp, it's the day that you graduate from boot camp and you pin on the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, the Marine Corps emblem. So anyways, happy birthday to me. As I described in the intro, and when I watched the intro, it maybe wasn't completely clear. Part of the confusion when I describe these things is the orientation of these wings on the stands. Obviously, they are rotated 90 degrees. The leading edge is pointed toward the ceiling. The trailing edge is pointed toward the floor. The outboard portions, meaning the portion that I'm standing next to, and then the portion that faces the garage door, those are the tops of the wings. So the inboard portions in that alley, those are the bottoms of the wings. But when I'm describing these rivet rows on the main spar flanges, I'll often say top and bottom. And by that, I mean the orientation that they are right now. The top row is literally the row closest to the ceiling. The bottom row is closest to the floor. Other times, I might be describing the row. I might be talking with reference to the top skins or the bottom skins. So I'm sorry for the confusion. I confuse myself sometimes when I hear myself describe it. But basically, as we saw in the previous video, once the leading edges are mounted to the spars, those skins, as they are attached to the spar flange, won't leave enough room for a countersink cage to fit flush to set to countersink the rivet holes, the second row, as we're looking at it, the lower one, the closest to the floor, but basically the aft row, where the main skins will attach there. So those holes have to be countersunk before we attach the leading edges. We're fine doing that on the tops of the wings, because we're going to attach the top skins and they've already been fitted and final size drilled. But because the bottom skins stay off until the very, very last, like that's the last thing you do to close up the wings, and there hasn't been an explicit instruction yet to actually go ahead and fit and final size drill them. They have not yet been fit nor final size drilled. And as I said before, I don't want to countersink any holes that have not already been final size drilled, meaning that they've been final size drills matched with the skin that they're going to mate with. So in the alley, those are the bottom portions of the wings. In the alley, the lower, meaning closer to the floor, row of rivet holes have not been countersunk yet, and they cannot be countersunk until we fit the main skins on and go through that whole process of match drilling or reaming all the holes when everything is pulled nice and tight. So I think that explains it a little bit better. Let's see. Today was, okay, to be fair, today was 4 hours of the camera rolling, but in actuality, you saw that I disappeared there for a few minutes, and I'll do it a second time, just work related. I have an email thing going on, so I think I stepped away twice for a total of 30 minutes. So let's say that today was 3.5 hours, because of the times that I stepped away for that and to go have a conversation with the FedEx guy to tell him all the reasons why he should also be building a plane at home. Anyways, what you see me doing here with my back turned to you is not nothing. I'm working my way from inboard to outboard, doing all of the countersinks on the top of the main spar flange. And so I'm doing the double row where the leading edge attaches, and then I'll move to the inboard half where the fuel tank is. I call this a double row because we have a row of rivets where the leading edge is attached, and then a row of rivet holes where the main skin attaches. When you get inboard, it's really just a single row because the top or forward row is all of those nut plates for the fuel tank to be screwed onto the wing. So there's only one rivet row. I mean, that was obviously a rivet row before, but it was all for the nut plates, and we did those months ago, which is hard to believe. So yeah, anyways, that's what I'm doing here. Really one of the most mind-numbing sort of operations, I think. Not quite as bad as rib prep hell. That was brutal. I've watched a number of other builders on YouTube, and I don't think that anybody complained about countersinking the main spars as much as I have. So I don't know if they're better at it, if they're faster at it, if they don't want to disappoint their audience by describing the anguish of doing 1,100 countersinks on the main spars. I will say this, because of this sort of, it's not a change, it's a revelation. This is always how it had to be done. I just didn't realize it until yesterday. But because of that sort of change in what I thought was going to happen, and the fact that I do need to go ahead and get on with fitting all the bottom skins and do all of that, that does mean that by the time that I do go to actually attach the leading edges and the top skins, all of the countersinks on the main spars will be done. There will be none left. I'm pretty happy about that. And also because I'm going to go ahead and get those, go ahead and go through the process of fitting the bottom skins, even though they're not going to be attached for a long time, since they're already going to be kind of that far through the process in terms of fitting and everything, and I'm going to have to do skin prep to do the top skins anyways, I might as well go ahead and do the bottom skins while I'm at it, so that whenever it is a couple of months from now, whenever it is I'm ready to put them on, I don't have to break off for a couple of days and do prep on those skins. So in a few days, when we get to prepping the top main skins, so deburring, edge finishing, scuffing the rivet lines and priming, I'll do the same thing with the bottom main skins. So all of the main skin prep will be done, and I'm sure that when it does come time to finally rivet those onto the wings, I'll be happy that I did the prep all that long time before. So yeah, here's what I was describing. I went ahead and did the double row, which looks like a double row as you look at it there on the screen. And now I'm down there just zipping through the last of them. You will see me at some point leave and come back in with another drawing. The drawing that is attached, kind of clamped onto the shelves back there, that is the drawing for like the layout of the ribs and all of that. And one thing that I want to be certain that I understand is actually the layout of the skins on these, because they don't, like the top main skins and the bottom main skins, they're not symmetrical top to bottom. They fit a little bit differently, and there are some things that you need on the very inboard portion. If you look at it, it's hard to see where I'm standing, but if you look at the other wing to the left of the screen, you can see those 1, 2, 3, 4 ribs all close together. That's the wing walk. That's where you've got extra structure there because you're going to be walking on it. And there's a difference between the top of the wing and the bottom of the wing in terms of how the skin fits. And there are some holes that you need to, along the rib itself, running front to back, there are some holes that you need to leave untouched or unriveted when you do put the skins on, because those need to be left open for the fuselage attach. I'm not nearly far along enough to know how that even works. The next time I go visit Joe at the airport and look at his RV-8, that's what I'll be looking at. Two things. I want to see how. Okay, so here's what's going on right now. Since I got through all of those countersinks that I wanted to get done today, and the only countersinks left to be done are the ones after the whole thing. I won't describe it again, but the whole thing about the bottom skins, I figured, why not go ahead and get all of the bottom skins mounted up right now, so that my next work session, I can just come in and immediately start final size drilling all of them. So that's what's going on right here. And we'll run out of time here in the video pretty soon. But the two things that I want to look at is the fuselage attach, where the wings meet the fuselage, to kind of get a gauge of what that's all about. And the other thing is, and this is kind of where I'm at right here as you're watching me do this, the outboard skin overlaps the inboard skin. And you need to create I think it's called a scarf joint, where the two skins overlap so that they match the thickness of the tank skin. I won't describe it any more than that, because if you're not familiar with it, I'll just make it confusing. On the next video, I will provide some pictures and drawings of what I'm trying to describe. But that's some additional prep that will have to be done once we get into actually fastening the skins. That happens on both the top main skins and the bottom main skins. And also you can see in the bottom, there are a whole bunch of 1, 2, 3 on each wing access plates, which means there are a whole bunch of 1, 2, 3 per wing access plates that need a bunch of nut plates to be attached. So got that to look forward to as well. So anyways, episode 96, wings 25, plus, what was it, like 30 fuel tank ones? So we're really like 55 into the wings. Anyways, that's it for this one. Get back to the next one. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate your support.